Wonderful. Today is such a beautiful day here in Trinidad and Tobago. It's actually raining cats and dogs, like they say. I don't know where they got that phrase from. Raining cats and dogs, because I don't
I
see
don't.
cats and dogs falling from the sky. Nancy, hey. So,
Hey, good morning.
right? So
You're
I
right.
don't know. I don't know why they say raining cats and dogs. Who came up with
I
that?
don't either. We should look that up.
Yeah, but right now it's raining a lot here, and I have Nancy on the line with me, like you can hear. What has been happening is Nancy and I are supposed to be showing our videos, our faces, so you're supposed to see us interacting. But what has happened is that we had some technical difficulties, and hey, because we are the kind of people that we are, so powerful, we just roll with the punches. And so I gave Nancy a number to call in, so you wouldn't see her on this recording, unfortunately, but you will see her again at some point and put a face to the name. And how I'm going to show you that right now is by going through her website while we talk. So I'm going to be learning more about her. You will also be learning more about her. And you're going to be seeing what she really looks like, how beautiful she is. And of course, in the promo image that we have, you will also see her image as well. You don't need to see me, but hey, you need to see beautiful Nancy.
No, thank you.
So
You're
let me
making my morning.
That's right. It's a beautiful day. So I'm going to share a little bit quickly and then we go straight into the show. Nancy's life. Nancy is Nancy Nelson, actually. Nancy Nelson, her life has changed when she forgot 3 words. Her doctor asked her to recall the words at the end of their conversation, part of a memory assessment. Today she remembers those words as they symbolize her Alzheimer's advocacy. Blue.River.Apple. And we're going to find out what those 3 words mean and what's the significance and why she's able to remember those 3 words, even if it's the only 3 words that she can remember, why those 3 are so significant and it's stuck in her memory. Well, I hope she remembers my name too, so she needs to add Korean to that. Nancy, Nancy is an author, speaker, poet, and advocate for Alzheimer's, hence the memory that we were talking about and the 3 words that she was asked to recall. So we're going to learn a bit about Alzheimer's, and Alzheimer's has been such a trending topic. We don't know why it's been so popular, just like cancer and all these things. Because I remember as a child, you didn't hear about these diseases. All you heard about was the flu or a little pain or probably arthritis, but you're hearing bigger names, bigger things, new names to diseases, and people are getting it more and more. So we need to eradicate that, and we need to understand what Alzheimer's is about, what we can do, how we can understand it, how we can help our loved ones, help ourselves. And like this episode is about how to participate in our own recovery, understand when something is happening to us, to probably mention it to someone, or a confidant to say, I feel I'm forgetting, or you recognize something about you. But not only that, in participating in your recovery, it means to say you're taking an active part in your health, and you're not just throwing up your arms, lying plain dead on the ground or on the bed and saying, well, I give up. No, because Nancy is not a person like that. Clearly, if she was, she wouldn't be on this show with me this morning after the challenges we had in getting on. So we're going to bring on Nancy. And before I bring on Nancy, I want to have her website on. So let me do a quick sharing of my screen so that while Nancy's talking, you can see what she looks like. Okay, because I know visual is important. So Nancy, before I do that, welcome to the show, my darling. Thanks for being here.
Well, thank you so much for having me, inviting me, and putting up with me. Thank you.
That's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot
That's
in
a
one go.
lot.
That's a lot in one go. But I am willing to do all of that and more with you during our time and even beyond that. So here we go. So Nancy's not going to see what I'm showing you. She just has to trust me this morning, as we all have to do. She's just on the phone, but I am seeing everything, so she just has to trust me. So I have her website of Blue.River.Apple.com. So Nancy, tell us a little bit about you when you discovered or realized, or somebody discovered, what was the story behind your Alzheimer's, and why are you such an advocate for it?
Okay, thank you so much. Listen, sometimes a little rain falls. You know that this morning.
Yes.
And we have to adjust our lives. I was living a good life, and all of a sudden, I got a diagnosis of early onset Alzheimer's disease. I was having some memory issues. My dad, God bless him, passed in 2002 with Alzheimer's. And what a change there has been since then to now. And when I say change, not so much that they know any more about it, I don't think, but a change because people are beginning to understand that it's something, Alzheimer's disease is not going away. It shows no preferences. It can hit blue, white, black, red. It, it just hits everyone in every nation. And so we have over 4.5 million people, 5.4, let me get it correct, 5.4 million people in the United States, I mean in the world. Mm-hmm. And no, I don't, I mean in the United States. And then we have that's going to grow to 16 million. So you see, we need to do something about it because unfortunately, today there's no cure. We're trying to figure it out, but there's no cure. So I was having memory issues. I was making appointments and not being able to keep them. I was driving and not knowing where I was going.
Isn't that scary?
Yes, and it's not, I always say, Corrine, it's not that I can't drive. Don't get that impression. It's that I cannot connect the streets.
Yeah.
And so I pull over, and I'm learning more and more. I'm doing really well, and so I'm grateful for that.
Yeah.
And once the diagnosis, I put it off and put it off because I was busy and I was having a good life, and I wanted to continue doing what I was doing. But one day I decided that I needed to go to the doctor, and my kid said, "Mom, do you really need to go?" And I said, "Yeah, I think I really do." And we go, and we get the news, and it's, even though, it's in the family and so many other people have it, you never think you're going to get it. So when you hear the news, it still kind of slaps you in the face.
Yeah.
And you have to say, oh, what am I going to do from here?
Yeah.
Am I going to do as you suggest, as you mentioned in the intro, am I going to just sit there? Yeah. Or am I going to say, I'm going to make this rain into sunshine for as many people as I can?
Yeah.
And I decided, I started waking up early morning after the diagnosis, early morning, black outside, cold, and words were just kind of pounding in on me, coming from something far greater than Nancy Nelson. And they were words of poetry depicting how I was feeling, how I thought I'd been treated. Did I like this? Did I know that? How come? Why me? And through the poetry, I began to see that, hey, this is not so bad. If I can help others, it is such a heart fill for me. It's all right. Don't worry. I'm fine. So I say, don't worry. I'm fine. Yeah. I slip and I don't remember, and I put things where, it's all kinds of things. And it's just, it makes my life really complicated. People will look at me and say, oh, Nancy, there's nothing wrong with you. And I say, thank you. Thanks. It's all good.
It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. So you recognize, from what I'm hearing you saying, you recognize what was happening to you, and you participated in your own health and realized that something was off, and you mentioned it to your children. Even though you tried to avoid it, run from it, denial, I guess, set in, because
right.
A number of us, well, I mean, even me, and it has nothing to do with age, as you say, color, status, there's no special set of people that have it. Diseases don't discriminate. It doesn't have special people. But a lot of us, even young, old, whatever we are, we're on the street and we get lost. It doesn't mean to say that, or you lose your bearings. It doesn't mean to say that you have Alzheimer's, on early onset of Alzheimer's at that point, because sometimes we just lose ourselves.
Exactly.
Exactly. So I don't want people listening to this thinking, oh my God, I have early onset of Alzheimer's. So
no.
What I want you to kind of clarify is what made you realize there's a difference between just simply losing your bearings, kind of getting it back kind of thing,
Mm-hmm.
to really having Alzheimer's? What's the difference?
You know, uh, the, there is a fine line between as we get older, and yesterday was my birthday. I was 74 years old.
Yay! Yay!
Yay! Yes. And so we do have to be careful. We do have to proclaim that, hey, you know, I'm not falling into the pit that I'm told that I have Alzheimer's, or that I think that I have it, and I'm going to curl up and watch the world go, you know, pass away. What you have to do is become very adamant and participate in your own health. Communication is the key. And it's my staunch fight for life, I guess, that made me say, this is a choice, and my choice is not to have it. And I think I was blessed with realizing, or never realizing, the outside look, because this disease is considered the long goodbye, because people live through it, with it, around it for so long.
Yeah.
It's so you have to grab hold of it. You have to look it in the face. Take that fear that you feel, look it in the face, and help yourself. Are you exercising? Are you eating a plant diet? Are you, you know, expanding your brain? Are you doing some of the things, exercising, doing some of the things that you can do to help yourself? Because now, finally now, and I'm 4 years into the diagnosis, they have done more testing, and there's newer testing, and they're taking the early onset diagnosis and saying, you're doing so well, we're going to call it mild cognitive impairment.
Right.
So don't take a diagnosis, don't take a thought in your mind and just glom onto it and own it. Heck, I don't own Alzheimer's disease.
Exactly.
I never say I have it. I say I've been diagnosed with it.
That's
and
right.
Never connected with the outside reality of it. And
don't sleep with it. Don't hug it up. Don't marry it.
That's right. Hell no, don't do that.
Right? And what I'm picking up from you is that, you know, if somebody feels that they're a little forgetful, you know, just a casual forgetful, or they've lost their bearing, you know, even if you feel that and you feel this is worrying to me, you know, you feel a little flutter in your heart, go check it out. It cannot hurt.
Early diagnosis is extremely important.
Yeah.
It is extremely important from the fact that, you know, it kind of puts a burr in your saddle that makes you say, hey, I need to start taking care of myself.
Right. So
never go into never go into the doctor's office and take what they say and just sit down. You gotta examine it. You gotta stop. You gotta look. You gotta listen, and you gotta fight, because we are what we think we are, aren't we, Curry?
That's right, Napoleon Hill. Yeah. So the thing about it is I heard you mention exercise, which I'm going to come to now, but I also heard you mention you had a good life. Now, there are people walking around, Nancy, who, similar to you, have a good life, whatever that means to them.
Right.
And something hits them, something changes that. And you're like, what? Why me? You know, how are people going to look at me now? Then you go through that whole psychological thing, the status, you know, now that I'm getting forgetful, what will people think? They're going to laugh at me. Nobody's going to look up to me anymore. They're going to think I'm disabled. You know, you go through that whole social, you know, convoluted thing in your mind, thinking, how would people see you now? Because, of course, you had a good life. People looked at you. You were normal. Let's call it that. Quote, normal. Now you think everybody sees you as abnormal. So besides you as the individual going through the disease or the early onset, or having been diagnosed by it, you are already going through that internally. Now you have to deal with, how are people going to see me? How are people going to relate to me? How did you maneuver that knowing that you said you had a good life? How did you maneuver that to share some tips with those who may be going through the same thing or have a parent or a loved one going
Right.
through that? What sort of tips can you share with the good life versus what you think now or then ended up after the diagnosis being not the good life?
You know, I think, and I'm no expert. I'm no expert. I'm just Nancy making her way through the weeds, so to
Mm-hmm.
speak.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say to look it in the face. And isn't that true with almost anything in our life?
Anything. That's right.
That comes, death, divorce,
Mm-hmm.
whatever, right? Tragedies, losing a house, whatever. You
Right.
have to turn around and look that in the face and pull up the big girl panties or the big boy boxers and
That's right.
wiggle your little fanny into those and say, hey,
Mm-hmm.
you know what? It does happen. And I
Own
have
those
found it
panties.
over.
Own those panties. Own those panties.
You own them. Because what happens when people who used to have eye contact with me, used to listen to me, used to take what I said as gospel, when they start to question
Mm-hmm.
and they say, oh, no, I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
And I've learned I don't argue with them because 50% of the time they're right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh dear, I've messed up the days,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I didn't get it right. And
Mm-hmm.
so my armor chinks. And I
Yeah.
think we have to work on our interior, on our armor and say, it's okay.
It's
So now I say, I say to you in the bup humble that we had this morning, I said, oh my goodness, yes, but we'll get it. We'll get it. We're working a little harder. And and I feel really bad. I'm crushed inside. My armor is chinked because once again, I thought everything was set up and maybe it wasn't, or I thought I was someplace and I went to the wrong place,
Yeah.
or I didn't. Yesterday I said I'd be there and today I completely forgot. And at 5 o'clock I look up and I think, ugh.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so
that's okay. And that's okay. And you see, we have to say those words. It's okay.
it's okay. You
It's
have
going
to,
be okay.
right. And if you're looking at in the fear, you look in the fear in the eye,
Mm-hmm.
Corrine, and within yourself, you have made it okay. It's
Mm-hmm.
okay. It's not who I used to be. It's not how I used to operate.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry what you see is not what you're getting
Yeah.
today.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you have to work. Every day I work on saying, I am okay. I am okay.
And the thing about it, Nancy, what just came to me, in listening and in talking with you is that we worry about the unknown. We worry about change. We worry about everything.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't know that that change can be the better version of you. It can force you into a zone that was not your comfort zone, that now you have to navigate that and become somebody else because something has changed. And it takes you out of a comfort zone, which is good because a lot of us are in our comfort zone. We know the routine, we know what to do, we know how to behave, everything. We are comfortable. And as soon as something changes, we're like, what?
Yes.
But with this change, you become a different person. And
Yes.
we are human beings. We are evolving.
Yes.
We have to change. It is meant for us to change. We don't know when that change will come about. And so we always have to be in a ready position to change whenever that change comes along. And it is how prepared are we to roll with those punches, to dust off the sand of our butts or whatever, and just roll with it? How prepared are we? And the more resilient we are, is the better we become.
That is absolutely correct. I agree with you.
Yeah, because look at you. You are used to a particular life. And here now you have to deal with being diagnosed, your family, your friends, the status you held, the people who looked up to you. And, now it's like, and it's also a test, I'm thinking, Nancy, because it's like, let me really see who am really my friends and who really understood me. Who are the people that are really around me? So you will start seeing probably people falling off the wagon because you are now a different person. You have evolved into someone different than who they know. Are they really friends? Are they really loved ones? So you get to learn a lot about your new you, the new Nancy, right? Compared to
Right.
the
Right.
Nancy that you knew before.
Right. And never forget along this path, there's hope. Just
Hmm.
look, I went from a diagnosis of early onset Alzheimer's to mild cognitive
That's
impairment,
right.
going
That's right.
backwards.
Hmm.
And it, and if it's only in my mind, then I've played a good one on myself. And
Hmm.
there's always hope. And when we sit in hope, and I always have an escape hatch, I always, in every room I walk into, I look for a window, and I know that on the other side of that window is sunshine, and that I'm okay. I'm going to be in that sunshine. For me, that denotes that's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. And we have to know that everything is going to be okay. Now, these three words, Nancy, Blue River Apple, when you were asked, you forgot, but those were the three words that you recall. What does Blue
Right.
River Apple mean to you? And why did you remember those three words of all the words that your doctor assessed you on?
Well, because, to be diagnosed with Alzheimer's is kind of an iffy thing because it's a process of elimination. And so they do a lot of testing to eliminate that you don't have something else. And and they do neuropsych tests, and when you go into a doctor's office, they choose 3 or 5 words when you go in there. And they say those words. Then they talk to you. They ask you to spell world frontwards and world backwards, and they ask you all kinds of questions. And after that, then they go back and they say, okay, what were those 3 words or 5 words that I gave you? And I couldn't remember all of them. I stumbled and thought and tried, and I thought that's absolutely silly, but I was having so much trouble with my memory, so much trouble remembering things but it was just another chink in my armor, and I just couldn't remember it. So when we came to writing the books, then was suggested to me, why don't you use those 3 words? So hopefully I'll never forget them. Blue.River.Apple.
Well,
So
just
there, Doc, that's the words. Blue.River.Apple.
and you stuck with those words. You develop your website around it because that is what signifies you. That is what you remember. That's what signifies you. And I
Right,
see here on your website, your
right.
books are around the same title, Blue River Apple. Tell me about your books. Even your apple is blue. What the hell?
Right, but see the difference in the apples. So
Yeah.
the second book is Second Harvest,
Oh.
Blue.River.Apple. So the books are they're poems because I can handle writing poems, and
Mm-hmm.
they're verses that are very poignant. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you have time for me to read part of one, but
Yes. Yes. Go
yes.
right ahead.
Okay, I'll take the first book, Blue.River.Apple,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know how much time.
No, that's
So,
okay. You do your thing. I'm looking
okay.
at a blue apple when I'm used to red. That just tells you that red or green or a
Yeah, do you
blend
see
of
the different ways they're cut? Yeah.
right,
Uh-huh.
right.
Okay. So here's the very first poem that I wrote. This
Okay.
way, all of my poems have come to me just like I don't know. They've just been channeled through. So
I
these were the
told you you're evolving, Nancy. You're
yeah,
evolving. You're a different person, a better version of you.
I am. I am. Thank you for that. Okay. So today's journey: develop courage, splash on a smile, be who I want to be, not afraid of who I am becoming. To awake at night, fearful of forgetting important and precious things like people, dates, times, appointments. I am not in control. Please help me, God. Thoughts jumble, words disappear, times mix up, promises go astray. When I hear, where are you? Are you coming? Eyes water, stomach churns, humbled in disbelief. I have done it again. Do I stay home, cancel quit, or fight for rite of passage through the fog. Silently I say, I am not what I appear. I'm sorry for what you see. Breathe in courage, splash on a smile, struggle to remember. I must find pieces of myself and revel in who I know I am. Chin up, treading lightly in new, uncharted waters. At times I catch sideways glances back and forth, perhaps even your voice, impatient. I understand. But wait, we can stand together, separate. Can you hear me? I have so much to tell you. I try to mask the imperfections, a dab of foundation, a blush of pink, dressed in clothes, jewelry, and resolve. Daily, though, I have to make sense of where I am on the sliding scale of Blue.River.Apple.
Wow. Writing is such a therapeutic thing to do, and especially for somebody who has been diagnosed with Alzheimer's, whether early onset or otherwise. What you're really doing is capturing those memories before it becomes the disease becomes worse than in you, that you really can't remember those words. And
Exactly.
somebody may be able to read those words later on to you, and it may jolt something in you.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah,
And I'm hoping it jolts something in caregivers,
yeah,
in family and professional caregivers,
yeah.
in work associates, in friends and and family members, and says, you know what, there's hope. There's
Yeah.
hope. So pull up those big girl panties and
Panties.
boxers, guys. There's hope.
There is hope. And we tend to, well, I don't know. I've never had to deal with someone with Alzheimer's, really, personally, on a personal
You did
level.
this morning.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah. But I mean, like, to be a caregiver to someone, I can
Oh,
just
yes.
imagine. But I'm thinking some people don't have the patience, especially your
That's
loved one, your
correct.
family don't have the patience.
Right.
And whatever someone diagnosed with Alzheimer's or anything, whatever they may be diagnosed with, want to do, allow them to do it. You don't know if that's their way of communicating, of coping, of navigating whatever they are going through. So you you were inspired through writing, through poetry, to share those words, to help yourself. And someday those words will impact somebody else, or it may be read to you later on should your Alzheimer's become worse. Let's pray that that doesn't. Or
Hmm.
a member of your family may not be as fortunate as you, or somebody you know and love, or somebody you don't know.
Right.
And it may be that coping strategy. It may be that navigation tool for that person. Some people go to painting. They never paint before, but they may want a brush or crayons and paper and paint. Whatever they choose to do, I'm saying this to the caregivers, allow them to do what they want to do.
Yes,
Because
and music is so important.
yeah,
Music is
because
really
because
important.
your role as a caregiver is to give care,
Yes,
to give
yes,
love, not to control their lives, is to be observant, to give
right,
love, to work with them through that journey, and for them to, as caregivers, to
right.
understand and learn what this person is going through at this time. Because we all don't know where we will end up, Nancy.
We don't know where we will end up, will we? Because
No,
I would never have thought this was where I was going to
no, no.
be.
Yeah,
We don't.
no,
And there's help out there. You can go. Alzheimer's Association is international,
yeah.
and it's in every state of the
Yeah.
United States.
Mm-hmm.
And there are caregivers support groups. There are early stage support groups. They help. They're so helpful. I say to people, don't be afraid to listen. Don't be afraid to hear. Don't be afraid to understand.
Mm-hmm.
And don't sit back, hold your hand out, and expect a perfect stranger to do a better job than you can. You have to partner with your medical person and become a partner in your health.
That's right. Participate in your own recovery. And I'm on your website still, Nancy, just to let you know. And absolutely love the water. I have this thing about water.
Me too.
And I see you have the ocean there. It brings a calm, a peace. I mean, when you see the recording, you're going to love what I'm doing here. I'm actually showing a portion, the front page of your website with you and the
Yes.
books, and right below it, as you scroll, it goes into the ocean. So I have part of that showing while I'm talking to you. So
Oh, that's nice.
yes, I'm quite relaxed with your cup of coffee or tea and your little, your little plant there. Perfect.
Did you
I
like the flowers
I do. And everything is so blue. The apple is blue. You are wearing blue. The ocean is blue.
Yes,
So I'm scrolling through your lovely website showing the waves of the ocean, which is so peaceful and calm. And
it is.
I'm going through your website just for persons who are going to be looking at the video, the recording, because I'm going to put this up on YouTube, and share it.
And that's my dad. My dad is on the bottom there with our feet prints at his gravesite.
Yeah, whoa, Robert Williams, is it?
Yeah.
Yes, that's nice. That's nice. And you have your blogs and stuff that people can share, but I want to kind of go through. So that was the home page I was on. So I'm going to click on the author page.
Okay.
And everything is just so pretty on your site. You have things to
Thank
make
you.
people, yes, the beautiful little sunflower thing there I'm seeing. I'm on the page with the yellows and the oranges, and you and the cute dog.
My doggy, yeah.
Okay, and I'm on the speaker page here, and it's all blue. Those flowers are beautiful.
Forget-me-nots.
Yes, forget me not. How appropriate for someone with Alzheimer's. Forget me. I think that plant was named because of Alzheimer's.
I think it was.
God knows what he's doing. He says, there will be people who might forget, and so I need to have a plant called Forget Me Not.
That's right. That is absolutely right.
Yeah, and I see you speaking at some seminars or something here.
Yes, that seminar that I show a picture of was 200 top insurance agents.
Wow.
Having a seminar on Alzheimer's disease.
And they're wearing Blue.River.Apple t-shirts.
Yes, that's my high school friends came to a speaking engagement at a bookstore that I had up in Bellingham, Washington.
Nice, nice. And I'm on the advocate page here.
Okay.
Oh, it's beautiful. That's purple. Light up. Oh.
Purple for Alzheimer's.
Yes, are you serious?
No, I know that it's on the page.
It's on the page. Beautiful, beautiful. And so it says you're an advocate and you're holding one of those little banners there.
Yes, we have to talk about Alzheimer's. We cannot be afraid of the discussion. So to reduce the stigma that is attached to it, so that if somebody says, I have Alzheimer's, you don't have to, recoil and think that by touching or speaking to someone that you're going to catch it, because you're not. you just smile and act like you would with anyone else.
Exactly. You
I do not bite.
Exactly. And even if you do, what's wrong with that? So I'm on your shop page where you have your books.
Okay.
Yeah. And somebody can request a personalized copy.
Yes.
Copy. That's beautiful. And I see you have some little beads.
Yes, I started doing the beaded with each book that I send out from the website. I just give them along with the book, I give them a bookmarker that's made by my daughter with love. Michelle makes bookmarkers, and it's just something that I've always done. And I've always said, wherever that bookmarker lands, maybe you want to read that poem first.
Yes, yes, beautiful. I love that. I love that. And you have your contact page, which is beautiful, and especially on the home page, it takes you to that ocean.
I know. And the Forget Me Not is on that back page, huh?
Yes. I love it. And of course, I would encourage all the listeners, people watching this video, to follow Nancy. She has her social networks here. We're going to connect with her on Facebook, LinkedIn, And of course, she has her YouTube channel. But connect with Nancy, because you never know where you will be, and our loved one will be. And it's good to educate yourself on these things and to know people in the area. She is associated with the different associations, and you never know, she can put you in contact with help, support, whatever is needed, or even someone to talk to.
Yes.
Nancy's very approachable, like you can see, and sociable. So, you know,
Yes, I
over a
am.
cup of coffee or tea, she's gonna she's gonna help you and offer you the support and encouragement. And Nancy, we're in a world where we need more love.
Oh, don't we though?
Yeah, and I see the world changing in that direction. People are just getting tired of the hate, the racism, because it makes no sense. It makes no sense.
It doesn't.
We
It's
don't have the time for that, Nancy.
we don't. We have way too much to do, don't we?
Yes, yes, we don't have the time for that, right? And I want people listening to this show to realize, like you said at the beginning, this disease, and it doesn't apply only to Alzheimer's, it doesn't discriminate. You could be black, white, Indian, Chinese, it don't matter. You could be short, tall, fat, skinny, sexy, not sexy. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
It,
Doesn't care.
it doesn't care. It doesn't care. So why are people out there making a fuss over insignificant things?
I know, and Alzheimer's disease for one, and we probably could name others to date, cannot be prevented nor cured,
Yeah.
nor even slowed down.
Wow.
Now, I mean, that's what's been said, but now there is more and more research being done on the positive attitude aspect, and that you stand in hope, and that you don't just, shiver in fear.
Right.
Stand up and you look this thing eye to eye and you say, I am.
That's right. That's right. And the positive attitude, I always believe happy cells will make a happy body and a healthy body.
That's right.
If you have fearful cells, worry cells, negative cells, you're going to be breeding diseases. You're going to be breeding sickness. You're going to be breeding all sorts of things. Why go through all of that? You have no control. And I heard you mention that you have no control.
No.
And that came to me the other day. I sat down, I was having a conversation with God, one of my many conversations. And I'm like, God, I have no control. I'm like, it's you control all of this. So, hey, I mean, I'm just here waiting for direction. I have no control. I can't say that I could control the rain that was falling this morning and now the sun is out. I can't control that. So when people say this is out of your control, what control? You don't have control over anything. Not the breath, not waking up in the morning, nothing.
Right.
You have no control over how your body operates. All you could do is, you don't control your heartbeat, you don't control the air you breathe, nothing. The only thing that you can do is treat it right, think positive thoughts, have a positive attitude. And so keep that body feeling happy so you can keep away all these things that are looking to come after you.
And are they really coming after you?
Really, are they?
Are they?
Are they?
Yeah, depends upon how we're looking at it.
Exactly. And why do you think they're coming after you? They're not.
Yeah, yes.
They're not. Yesterday I went to the doctor and he mentioned something, just like he mentioned something about cancer. He wasn't saying that I have it or anything, but we were just talking. I'm like, hello, please stop right there. That is not, I'm like, that's not knocking at my door, doctor. I don't have time for that. That's not knocking at my door. I don't have time for that. I'm too busy with other things.
I know the feeling.
Yeah, right? I don't have time. So let's talk about something else.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
So it's not coming after you. So Nancy, we had such a wonderful conversation. I mean, it's such a pleasure talking with you. And after the challenges we went through this morning, here we are. Blessed.
I know. Thank you
Blessed,
so much.
blessed. And like I say, we are evolving. And I don't want anybody to think whatever they're going through, that they're worse off. Think of yourself as you're better off. You're a better version of you. You have been given the opportunity to navigate, to change, to evolve, to learn how to deal with things and be a testimony for others. If this didn't happen to Nancy, and early onset, she would not be here talking and sharing what she knows. Yeah. So
That's true. Yeah, that is true.
yeah,
Yes.
so you had to be the testimony for somebody. If you don't go through the test, you can't share your experience and be a testimony for others. Yeah.
Yep, that is absolutely true. It certainly opened my eyes. It made me slow down.
Yes.
I find and look for and seek peace,
Yes.
and certainly can't understand all of the uproar over craziness. And we all get to have our own opinions, and it is our honor to listen to another's. You don't have to agree. You also don't have to scream and defame and
No.
rude and fight with, and it's a time that has brought me to a better place.
Yes.
I always thought I was a fairly nice person before, but I really think that I am more introspective, perhaps more caring. And I just think by virtue of knowing that maybe your body isn't acting the way that you want, because if we have good health, and I always did, then then the entitlement thing comes. Well, hey, I'm supposed to be well. I deserve to be well.
Yes.
Is that not right?
Yeah.
So we all have an opportunity to slow down and look around. And so when I get a little blue, and I do, people say, gosh, nothing looks wrong with you. And I just often sometimes, and it had, what might have been a harrowing morning within my own self.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, isn't it wonderful that I can walk out and I can put a smile on my face and a little blush on my cheeks, and I'm good to go.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. It will be okay. And I love how you're ending the show there, knowing that you have become a person that is more humble, filled with humility, peace.
Yes. Yes.
That is something that a lot of people should aspire to, but they're caught in the rat race. They're caught in the world, Nancy.
Yes.
That they don't slow down to even smell the flowers. Look at the beautiful flowers, the sun, appreciate the rain. Just be. Just stop for a moment and just be. Go by the ocean, just sit. Carry a sandwich and just take in the salt air. People are just like,
go on Blue.River.Apple website and just pull up the flowers in the water.
Yeah. Right? Just do that. So if anytime you feel down, you just go to Blue.River.Apple. I mean, how hard is it for you to remember those 3 words? Blue.River.Apple.
That's right. That's right.
Right? Make sure you don't forget it, people, because Nancy didn't forget it. Blue.River.Apple. Yeah? And get the books, because the words that you share from that one poem, the first poem, it resonated with me. It sounds like a conversation. You're not, you're just pouring it out of you. You're not trying to be colorful about it. It's actually your experience that you're sharing in your own words.
Yes.
Yeah. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And I want to encourage persons to get a copy of your book. I'm going to be sharing that, when I'm promoting the show. It's been awesome, Nancy. It's been awesome.
Thank you so much. And so are you. And thank you for all you do for community and for world.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. And one day I hope that we can meet and sit by that ocean and read a couple of poems and have a cup of tea and coffee in our hand.
I think that would be wonderful. Let's plan it.
That's right. That's right. And even if we forget where we are, that's okay.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It will be okay. Thank you so much, Nancy. It's
Thank
been a
you.
pleasure. This is Corinne Lafont, your favorite radio host on Between the Lines radio show. I forgot to mention that at the beginning, so I'm making sure I'm mentioning it at the end. And this is Nancy Nelson, Blue.River.Apple. Get a copy of her book or get copies of her book and share it. There are many,
Yes, please.
yeah, there are many Alzheimer's out there who would need it and associations. You know, I'm talking to you guys from Trinidad and the Caribbean. Just get a copy, share it, and reach out to
Yeah.
Nancy for support, for help, for advice. Yeah, she's available to you. Thank you so much, Nancy. Have a
Thank you.
beautiful day.
Thank you. You also.